The short road home. Beloved one, in the previous chapter we talked about the long road home. We talked about how you are very creative and you often will play with choices, with things that seem to be taking you out and away from home, taking the long road to reach home, to come again to the place of recognizing peace within yourself. And as we said, there is no judgment in taking the long road. It is okay. It is a part of the creative process of what you said you want to experiment with, what you want to experience. So therefore, seemingly within the context of time, it is the long road home. Now, in truth, you have never strayed from home. You cannot. It is within you. It is your basic birthright nature. Home. The peace and love of home. We talked about how you make choices to create whatever you think you want to experience or to play with. And all of those choices are okay. They are not being judged. You are the only one, you and the world, who sit in judgment of choices. Your Father, Mother, God does not sit in judgment of any choice that you make. Now, you may feel that you have been taking a long road home and wondering, where is home and how can I get there? This doesn't feel like home and this doesn't feel very good. But that is okay. You will get there. It is from whence you have come. Home, the place of peace and love, and it is a place where truly you always abide, although you may not see it outpictured. In this time, one of the things which is practiced from early on as you were the small one growing up is to judge others, judge yourself, and the parents often will reinforce this by saying, you can do a little bit better, and they seem to judge you. And then you say, well, I thought I was doing okay. So from the very beginning that you are small and you are learning about the world, there is reinforcement of judgment, and you get to live with how that feels. Usually it does not feel all that flexible or open. More and more judgment seems to bring you into a place which feels constrictive. Now we will speak of the short road home. Now, how do you do the short road? It is love, dropping judgments, boundaries, definitions. So, how does love feel? Warm, peaceful, welcoming, all-encompassing. Love is of the heart. And you know when you feel love, when you love, you are brought into the moment, not in the future or the past, but present. Love is being in the moment. It is the natural expression of your being. It is expansive. It is not constricted. It is not in judgment. You feel like everything is okay with the world, at least for a moment or so. Maybe after a while other ideas or thoughts rush in, but when you are in love, in that space of love, everything is okay. And you allow yourself to expand without judgment of self or another one. That is why I always use the human expression of love to try to reach the feeling of the totality of the love that you are. The totality of love cannot be put into words. It is a feeling of the heart. It is a feeling which comes when you are in peace, when you are in the place of meditation where all judgment, all thought is put aside for a while. The mind gets busy with its judgment, but in truth you do not need to be active. You can sit in stillness and allow the body to regenerate, to feed itself in that peace, because oftentimes when the mind is very busy, the body also tightens up. So when you sit in stillness and you allow yourself to relax, to sit for a moment or so with all worries and all concerns aside, you let the body breathe. You let the body expand. You allow the body to just be. It regenerates itself. And you are not quite as tired afterwards. You have regenerated the energy level and you feel yourself to be renewed, which is one of the beautiful gifts of meditation, of stillness, of sitting in a place which feels expansive. All of you have ones that you admire, ones in your life with whom you feel comfortable. Allow yourself to think about them. Let go of any previous ideas and just be in love with them and see how it feels. It will bring you to a place of peace, a place of healing, a place which truly the body desires, because so often you keep it all wrapped up into where you have to be, what you have to be doing, and all the judgment of self. When you sit in the stillness of the quietness, there is a feeling which pervades every cell of the body and renews it. So give yourself the gift of peace. Give yourself the gift of the short road home. You can do this any time, anywhere, several times a day, once a week, once a day. I would suggest once a day at least. As I have been suggesting to you for some time now, take at least 5 minutes of your day and say, Okay, the world will take care of itself for 5 minutes. I'm going to sit here in quietness. And then say to the mind, I'm not going to pay attention to all this shoulds or what I should be doing. I'm going to have quiet time and peace for myself. Then you will ask self at the end of 5 minutes, how do you feel? And self will say, I want more. Then you will probably say, well, I've got to get up and start doing because this is the way the world is. But when you are in the space of love and you look upon another one and your heart melts, you feel okay with yourself and with the other ones, of course. Being in love like that is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and the world, which is so caught up in all the constrictions of what should be and what needs to be and judgments which come with the shoulds. It makes you tired when you take upon yourself all of the shoulds. I know. I experienced that in my lifetime. But then the Father spoke unto me and said, let it all go. You do not have to worry about what your path is. You don't have to worry about your purpose. And you do not have to worry about what is going to happen on tomorrow. You will take care of that when it comes. And I said, yes, but I have to be prepared. In truth, you will be prepared. You do not have to cross bridges before you get there. The blind mind likes to play with, uh-oh, there's a bridge coming up, and I need to cross it and be prepared for it before I get there. Because what will happen if I'm not prepared? I'll probably fall into the water. You will not, so you do not have to worry about that. There are many times also that you try to cross the bridge before you get there, and you think of all the possibilities of what could happen and what you have to do and how you have to think it through. Simplicity is your nature. That again is the short road home, simplicity. Choosing to be easy, to be simple, to know that you are love, and that every problem which presents itself has a solution. Otherwise, it is not a problem. And you will be told, you will know the solution. You will know what to do when you get to it. You have already proved that to yourself in past times when there has been something. You thought, well, this is coming up, and I have to know exactly what to say, how to choose, what to rehearse. I have to rehearse. Well, no, not really. You are already perfect, and the realization of that perfection is again the short road home. You can say for 5 minutes, I am going to abide in my perfection. Yes, for 5 minutes, I am going to abide in my perfection and know that I am perfect. Not as I see myself oftentimes, but as my Father, God, Mother sees me, my Creator, the creative principle in whose image and likeness I have been made. Now, if you are made, and I assure you that you are, in the image and likeness of God, Goddess, all that is, how are you going to improve upon that? You do not need to, in truth. You cannot. Oh, but the mind says, oh yes, I have to improve myself. But if you are already perfect, why spend all the energy trying to perfect that which is already perfect? Does not make any sense, does it? It is only in the mind, and you do not have to go around in circles with the mind unless you want to take the long road home. But the short road home accepts it right away and says, okay, I am perfect. Then the mind gets in there with questions and says, well, remember when you did such and such, but that again is the mind. Truly, it does not matter if another one does not seem to love you, or if you meet ones who find fault with you. That is their perception. The only one who knows the truth of your being is your creative principle, what I have called Father, Mother, and you are created in perfection. Therefore, it is only the mind which is going to pick it apart and send you on a long goose chase to have to take the longer road home. Now, there is no judgment in taking the long road. But there is a bit of judgment that you do because you say, well, that takes a lot of energy. It doesn't feel so good. I like the short road home. I'd like to be in the space where I know I am loved and I am okay. That is truly what you have been searching for all the time. When you are first born as a small ones, unless you bring in your memories of past lifetimes, you are already knowing your perfection. But then as you are trained growing up, the parents will say, well, that's good, but, and there's that but. Those are what I call the goat thoughts, the buts, and you do not have to abide with those. They come up. You get to play with them, but remember that it is what you are doing, playing. The way to take the short road home is to live in the perfection of yourself, to be happy with self. Say, self, are we happy? And if you do not feel happy at that moment, say, okay, how can I make it that I will feel happy? Well, I would be happy if my mate looked with favor upon everything I do. And that is looking to another one. And oftentimes, as you have experienced, the other one is making choices that maybe do not make you happy. But you can be happy within yourself. Is this not true? Yes, that is where true happiness lies. It is within self, seeing the perfection of yourself, and then you are going to see it outpictured in a world more and more. That is what this new time is all about, energy of perfection, seeing perfection in everything. Even though the world may come to you and say, oh, how do you feel about this? Is this perfect? And sometimes you will say, no, it doesn't feel perfect. I want to know home. I want to take the short road home. And what will take you immediately to the heart, to the place of home? The deep breath. It is the first thing you do as the infant, as you choose this individuated life. And the last thing you do with the body is to let go of breath. And the breath will take you home. And beloved one, even in the middle of the long road home, you can do a short road home and then come back and choose a longer road, which is what you often do anyway. Pure love brings forth pure happiness, being okay with self, because you are taught, directly and indirectly, that you are not perfect, and yet you are. You are taught that you have to live up to certain principles and ideas. My beloveds, you are already perfect. You can take for yourself the happiness of it and put the smile on the face. It is good energy. The short road home is fun. So be it.